phone, taking your calls tonight. Apparently, Boulder, Colorado police crisscrossing the country to interview JonBenét's now adult brother. Now, many people have long believed, including myself, that this boy, Burt Ramsey, nor his father had anything to do with the murder.
A note that said, daughter has been kidnapped. You have your daughter. We want money. You give us the money, she'll be safely returned.
We've been said to be under the umbrella of suspicion, whatever that means. It's kind of no man's land. I ran back upstairs and pushed open her bedroom door, and she was gone.
Do you know how long she's been gone?
No, I don't. Please, we just got up and she was here. Oh my God, please.
Okay, well,
there's somebody.
I am, honey.
A uniformed police officer arrived relatively quickly, and I handed him the note. I said, my daughter's been taken. He said, gee, you don't think she just ran away? And I said, for heaven's sake, she's 6 years old. No, she didn't just run away.
He wants the person who brutally murdered his daughter to be brought to justice.
Now an expert on the infamous murder case says investigators want to speak to her older brother. His name is Burke. Police may want to ask him if he saw something that could help them piece together new information.
There is a killer on the loose. I don't know who it is. I don't know if it's a he or a she. But if I were a resident of Boulder, I would tell my friends to keep your baby close to you. There's someone out there.
Now, all these years following the short disappearance of JonBené Ramsey and her death, her body found downstairs in a wine cellar type room in the basement as her family lay sleeping upstairs. Now, police hone in on Burt Ramsey, then just 9 years old and living in the home when his sister was murdered. I want to go to you, Eleanor Odom. Let's just unleash all the lawyers. Eleanor Odom, felony prosecutor, death penalty qualified, Atlanta. Renee Rockwell, defense attorney. Peter Odom, defense attorney, Atlanta. Eleanor, number one, I remember at the time, there was a whole cadre of people that insisted Burke had something to do, was guilty of JonBenét's murder. That is absolutely ridiculous. I remember at the time, Burke was a very slight little boy. He was pale, devastated at the time of what all was going on, and just in this crush of scrutiny. There's no way that little boy had anything to do with this. I mean, many experts have long ruled out either the little boy or the father. Now, I want you to address what Larry Schiller said about the blow to the head. It's the real cause of death.
Yes, Nancy, and it's no surprise that there's no bruising on the head, because with abusive head trauma, all it takes is one, maybe two, very sharp blows to the head, taking the child and throwing her up against a hard object. Could be anything. This wouldn't cause bruising, but it would cause internal bleeding, what we call the subdural hemorrhaging and subarachnoid hemorrhaging. It's non-accidental trauma.
Peter Odom, question to you. Why now? What can they hope to gain by tracking down Burt Ramsey and questioning him again, besides stirring all of this back up for him?
Nancy, he's an adult now. He's much more mature. He might remember something that is of significance. There might be things that he did not think were significant then that now come to light. I mean, his whatever he says is going to be suspect if he's ever put on the witness stand. They're not looking to make a witness out of him. They're looking to see if there's any shred that they might use to corroborate any other evidence. In the passage of time... Why
are you saying, Peter Odom, that anything he said will be suspect? I don't agree with that.
And not suspect because of his credibility, just because of the passage of time.
You know, Renee Rockwell, there was a period of time, I would say, when they first started exploring and trying to use recovered memories, okay? It's not so unusual now. Recovered memories, you don't really even have to go into hypnosis, but yes, you can. It's not that. In fact, it's generally accepted that crime victims, he is a crime victim,
yeah, because
very often have loss of memory. Yes, it's very common, actually.
And it's very typical in any kind of therapy. When you have any kind of trauma or you're working through something, they'll get you and they'll bring you back, and maybe they'll find something. But Nancy, is it too little, too late? Did they bumble this up initially? I don't know if that was my sign, if I'd even let him talk.
We now have pretty irrefutable DNA evidence.
I did not kill my daughter, JonBenet.
Apparently the DNA evidence does not match any of the Ramsey family members.
I did not kill JonBenet.
Based on that, certainly could not have been involved.
There are plenty of pictures of the smiling family, John and Patsy Ramsey,
Crushed by the loss of her child.
6-year-old JonBenet,
Who did this?
and her 9-year-old brother Burke.
He was just 9 when his little sister, JonBenet Ramsey, was killed.
We have a kidnapping. Hurry, please.
The Ramsey's attorney, Lynn Wood, says investigators want to meet with Burke, but haven't yet.
It's hard for people to accept, I think, that someone would come into a home and murder a child.
Your baby's close to you. We would like to think that we don't know anyone that we have ever met in our lives who could do such a thing to a child. You know, but they talked with us and said, please tell us names of people, you know, who may have been in your home at any time. You know, we just outpoured information.
We are taking your calls out to Deborah in Montana. Hi, Deborah.
Hi, Nancy. Nancy, I just wanted to say that, you know, in the world that there's so much crime, it is so nice to have someone like you in it. You know, you're just wonderful. Wonderful. But I was wondering,
I don't deserve that, but I appreciate it. What is your question, love?
I was wondering, where does the son live now, and have they ever tried hypnosis on him?
I believe he lives in Atlanta. To Larry Schiller, he wrote Perfect Murder, Perfect Town. He's a contributor with the Daily Beast. He's the founder of the Norman Mailer Center and Writers Colony. Larry, where is Burke now?
Well, I mean, I think as a young man, he's probably around going to a job on a daily basis. He's got a social life. Even if I knew where he lived, I do not believe I'd reveal it on TV because he's entitled to his privacy. You know,
he really is.
Right.
He certainly is, especially after everything that he's been through. But it's my understanding he has gone on to college. He has graduated.
Right.
I'm sure he's out in the workforce. I'm pretty sure they moved away from Boulder, Colorado.
Well, no, there's no question. They moved away right away. You know, the family originally came from Atlanta, but they vacationed up in Michigan and, you know, in other parts of the United States. So John Ramsey actually, for many, many years, lived up in, I think, Wisconsin or Michigan, and even ran for political office at one point while his son was going to school. You know, they wanted to regain their privacy, which they were entitled to.
We feel like there are at least 2 people on the face of this earth that know who did this. And that is the killer and someone that person may have confided in. And we need that one phone call. We need the one phone call to this number that will help the authorities come to a conclusion.